Hi, dear cricket fans. Welcome to Cricket Happenings. And well, we are looking at the first 2020 match. There are going to be two 2020 matches. And today, at the neutral ground in England, in Edgbaston, Pakistan and Australia clashed in the first of the 2020 matches. And it was a victory for Pakistan by 23 runs. And let me tell you, after 13 meetings with Australia, Pakistan have got their first victory, and this win would be very sweet because in the 2020 World Cup, what Hussey did to Saeed Ajmal, that was completely erased when actually Pakistan beat Australia by 23 runs in the first 2020 match played at Edgbaston in Birmingham today. Well, looking at how things went on over there, it was Pakistan who actually won the toss. So Shahid Afridi elected to bat, and Salman Butt and Shahzaid Hussain opened the innings. Well, Shahzaid Hussain, Salman Butt had just blocked a few balls, and the score had just reached two when Shahzaid Hussain, of the first ball that he received from Dirk Nance, was gone. He tried to actually mow a ball over mid-on. David Hussey took the catch. Shahzaid Hussain was on his way out for a first ball that caught David Hussey, bowled Nance for a duck. So that was 2 for 1. And then Kamran Akmal combined with Salman Butt. Salman Butt was very sedate. He was just supporting Kamran Akmal. Kamran Akmal was doing all the scoring. He also hit one very good six of the bowling of Dirk Nance, and he had 2 4s and 1 6 of the ball and Dirk Nance and Sean Tate were not very effective today. They went for a few runs. In fact, more than Tate, it was Dirk Nance who went for runs. And then, but they were definitely swinging the ball for sure. And then Kamran Akmal was gone when he was run out. When Salman Butt didn't respond, he was run out for 23 of 19 balls, 2 4s and 1 6. Pakistan were 45 for 2 in the seventh over. Shoaib Malik joined in. Shoaib Malik and Salman Butt were there in the middle, but Salman Butt was gone when David Hussey was brought on to bowl. David Hussey actually surprised a few actually by taking the wicket of Salman, but it was Scott Warner bowled David Hussey for 13 of 21 balls with 1 4, and 45 for 3 suddenly became 47 for 1. Shahid Afridi, of the first ball that he received from Steve Smith, the leg spinner, tried to sweep across the line, was plumb in, he was adjudged LBW, and Shahid Afridi was walking. LBW bowled Smith for a duck, and Pakistan's innings were in a tatters there, 47 for 4 in the 8th over. But after that, Umar Akmal and combined with Shoaib Malik, and they took on the score to 98, and that was some very sweet batting from Shoaib Malik. On the other hand, also Umar Akmal. Umar Akmal was the real treat to watch. He just went on in his merry way, and in fact, he became the fastest Pakistani batsman to score a 50. Scored the fastest 50 in 2020 internationals by actually slamming 50 of just 21 balls. The way he hit it, the feature of his batting was Umar Akmal. He had 3 6s in his knock. One of the 6 that he hit was just moved across the line to Mitchell Johnson and put him over square leg for a 6. And there were some 2 straight 6s hit by take one after the other. The one was actually smote straight down the ground for a 6, and the second was a much bigger one going for a 6. That was the Steve Smith, the leg spinner. 2 consecutive 6s hit by Umar Akmal, and in between he was clubbing a few boundaries of all the bowlers except Tate. Dirk Nance, he was playing Dirk Nance very smartly, and he hit a lot of boundaries, and he was the one who really turned the match. I would say really resurrected the Pakistani innings with that knock of just 50 of just 21 balls. And when the score reached 98, Shoaib Malik also showed his mettle by actually in one of the overs of David Hussey, it went for 20 runs, with Shoaib Malik and Umar Akmal really hitting 4 boundaries between them of David Hussey. And then Shoaib Malik was gone, caught behind the bowling of Dirk Nance for 21 of 18 balls with 3 4s. Very good knock from Shoaib Malik under the circumstances. And Umar Akmal was still there at the cage, joined by Abdul Razak. And Abdul Razak was playing the steady partner, but Umar Akmal was doing all the scoring there. And well, as I said, Shoaib Malik departed at the 12th over with the score on 98 for 5. And it was looking a bit respectable. And after that, Abdul Razak combined, and both of them then took the score on to, they added 39 runs. With that time, Umar Akmal and Abdul Razak were a bit circumspect, I would say, because Umar Akmal obviously giving instructions to Abdul Razak to just slow down and not go for the big hit. It was a very mature knock from Umar Akmal, I would say, under the circumstances. And then after that, Abdul Razak was gone. This was the time when Sean Tate came back. Sean Tate didn't have a very good first spell, but in the second spell he came back, and first he took the wicket of Abdul Razak with a beautiful ball which actually clean bowled Abdul Razak for 7, and then and after that 6 for 137 the 17th over. became 7 for 153 when Umar Akmal, after playing a winning knock of 64 of just 31 balls with 7 fours and 3 sixes, was clean bowled by Sean Tate for 64. Actually, Sean Tate held that ball. He didn't bowl it very fast as what Umar Akmal was expecting, and he actually put in a slow cutter, and Umar Akmal was gone. Clean bowled by Tate for 64. Mohammad Amir was not out on 11. Umar Gul was run out for 10 after hitting one very sweet 6 of the bowling of Dirk Nance when he put him over square leg, and 116 for 8 in 20 overs with 8.35 runs per over. The run rate for Pakistan was the score on the board. Dirk Nance 4 overs 2 for 41, Sean Tate 4 overs 2 for 25, Mitchell Johnson 4 overs for 33, Hussey 4 overs 1 for 33, and Stephen Smith 4 overs 1 for 34. Now we go on to the Australian innings, chasing 167. Australia were into a very poor start when Shane Watson was LBW bowled Mohammad Amir for a duck, and Australia were 2 for 1. After that, David Warner. Now this is the over that I would like to describe to you, dear cricket fans. Shoaib Akhtar was bowling his first over, was sharing the new ball with Mohammad Amir, and Shoaib Akhtar's second over went for 20 runs. That was his first over. He shared the new ball. The first ball he bowled to David Warner was slashed past point for a 4, and after that 2 cover-driven fours by Warner of the bowling of Shoaib Akhtar. The fourth ball from Shoaib Akhtar was a bouncer bowling round the wicket, but Warner hooked him away to fine leg for 4, and the next ball, the fifth ball from Shoaib Akhtar, and that was also cut between the fielders for a 4. So 5 consecutive fours hit by David Warner of the bowling of Shoaib Akhtar, and Shoaib Akhtar had a very bad return. And the second over, he leaked 20 runs to David Warner, who hit him for 5 consecutive fours. And after that, Michael Clarke, the captain, was gone when he was caught beautifully by Shahid Afridi, who plucked the ball out of thin air of the bowling of Abdul Razak for 5, and they were 29 for 2. After that, there was a good partnership. David Warner, even though because the spinners introduced, Shahid Afridi started bowling, Abdul Razak also came in, and Umar Gul also came in. So that actually brought down the run rate. And then David Hussey was doing all the scoring. Well, there was one over in Shoaib Akhtar once again got hit. After the 20 overs, he leaked another 14 runs, with David Hussey going after him, hitting 3 fours of Shoaib Akhtar, not consecutive, but in between balls. So 2 overs for 34. That was all for Shoaib Akhtar. A bad bat for Shoaib Akhtar. And David Hussey, after he contributed 34, and they had taken the score to 81 when David Hussey was gone. Caught Shoaib Malik bowled Shahid Afridi for 34 of 28 balls with 4 fours and 1 6, and well, it became 85 for 4 when David Warner couldn't read a straight up one from Saeed Ajmal, which went and crashed onto his stumps. He was clean bowled with Saeed Ajmal for 41 of 31 balls with 6 fours, and then it was left to Michael Hussey and Stephen Smith. In fact, Cameron White came in. Cameron White also hit one very good 6, but well, Mohammad Amir came in to bowl. That was when Cameron White was out. It was Mohammad Amir who was bowling, and Mohammad Amir actually took, this was a very good catch by Shahid Afridi at mid-on. He took a very good catch of the bowling of Mohammad Amir to send Cameron White packing to the pavilion for 17 of 13 balls with 1 4 and 1 6, 109 for 7, and still there was over Steve Smith and Michael Hussey was again. That was the very good pair at the crease, and as you know, Michael Hussey, what he can do, and Michael Hussey was still there with Stephen Smith, and 109 for 5. They took on the score to 132 with a lot of common sense and responsibility. But this was the real turning point. Umar Gul, who had actually made it back to the team, started bringing in his Yorkers. The first Yorker claimed Michael Hussey. In fact, Steve Smith was gone. First he was clean bowled by Mohammad Amir for 12 of 8 balls with 2 fours. Now after that, Umar Gul's over really put paid to Australia's hopes, as Michael Hussey was clean bowled by a Yorker for 18 of 15 balls with 3 fours. Tim Payne was bowled by Umar Gul with a reverse swinging Yorker, bowled Umar Gul for 1 of 4 balls, and well, 7 for 138 for 137 with 2 quick wickets, 2 back-to-back wickets by Umar Gul in the 18th over, really set Pakistan on for a win. And after that, Mitchell Johnson was gone, stumped by Kamran Akmal with the bowling of Saeed Ajmal for 3, and well, Dirk Nance was not at the end. Sean Tate was also gone, falling a victim to Saeed Ajmal when he also tried to mow Saeed Ajmal, but ended up getting stumped of the bowling of Saeed Ajmal for 6. And 144 all out. That was a victory by 23 runs for Pakistan, which was real, I would say. It was a very sweet victory. And as far as the